I'm gluten-free Gigi. I understand how difficult it can be to enjoy the foods you love on a special diet. That's why I'm making these videos. Come join me in the kitchen. Christmas cookies. My favorite Christmas cookie. Reader question via email from Jason. Gluten-free Gigi, what is your favorite Christmas cookie? Well, Jason, it's chocolate, of course. You have to know that. I love chocolate. Chocolate Snowcap cookies, gluten-free. I want to show you how to make these. They're so simple. So a couple of things before you get started with the batter. We need a cup of powdered sugar in a pretty large bowl. I ran my whisk through this to get the big lumps out. We're going to roll our balls of dough in this later, so I'm going to set this aside, but have that ready so you don't have to stop and go get it. I have a half cup of chocolate chips, baking chocolate. I'm using semi-sweet. I recommend semi-sweet or milk, and I've melted this in the microwave. You can do that on the stovetop if you like, on low heat. Microwave, this took me about 45 seconds, and do it in 10-second increments. Nice and smooth. We'll set this aside so that it's a little cooled off for when we put it into our batter. So I have a whisk here. I want to whisk together a 1/4 cup of white rice flour, a 1/4 cup of tapioca flour, and I have a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. It's unsweetened cocoa. Whisk these together. The cocoa powder tends to have lumps. Try to get as many of those out as possible. And we want to add in a couple more dry ingredients. Here I've got a teaspoon of baking powder. And I have a 1/4 teaspoon of fine sea salt. We'll put these in, whisk these, and I want you to hang around for this entire video because I have a special tip for you. I'm going to show you how to get these cookies to turn out exactly like mine and perfect every time. This will be a fantastic addition to your holiday cookie tray, I promise. I have 2 tablespoons of Earth Balance buttery spread. I use soy-free. If you don't need to use Earth Balance and you're not dairy-free, go ahead and use real butter here. 2 tablespoons. Take your fork and cut the butter into the dry ingredients with your fork until you get a coarse crumb mixture. If you've ever made biscuits or pie crust or anything like that, you know this technique. This will give little pockets of our Earth Balance or butter throughout our dough. Makes for a really nice flavor and very tender cookie. And these are by far the richest, most chocolatey cookie I've ever made. So just keep working through your mixture, and you can see these crumbs begin to form. This will take a minute, but it's worth it. I've got 1 egg prepared that I've lightly beaten and that I'm going to put in here in just a minute. If you don't eat eggs, then you go ahead and use an egg replacer that would equal 1 large egg. I'm using a real egg. Alright. Put that aside. So here's that egg. Goes right in here. I want to add in a teaspoon of vanilla. And I have 1/3 cup of firmly packed brown sugar. Take a look at that while I grab a spoon and see how firmly packed that really is. You want to make sure you do that. So let's stir this together. And the brown sugar will give you an extra richness, and also it will make your cookie a little more moist than the white granulated sugar. So make sure you get that brown sugar. And you'll use it in lots of my fantastic gluten-free Christmas cookie recipes, so it won't stay in the pantry too long. Now once your dough comes together like this, it's time to go ahead and add this melted chocolate that I showed you earlier. And this is a very thick dough, but we're going to shape this into 1-inch balls. So take this chocolate, so you notice I'm using a melted chocolate and cocoa. And so Jason, back to My favorite cookie, well, maybe you're getting an idea of why. I love chocolate, and a cookie that has two types, you can't go wrong. So stir this in. I'm going to make sure you get all this blended. You want to take these to the refrigerator and let them chill because that chocolate we melted is a little warm. So let's put these in the fridge. Let's give these a chill, and we'll come back and I'll show you how to get them on the pan, and I'll show you my secret trick. Alright, it's been about 15 minutes. I've got our gluten-free chocolate Snowcap cookie dough out of the refrigerator. You're going to get messy doing this. It's a lot of fun. Even Jason, you can make these. I promise. If you do, let me know. I'll be over to have some. This is the best cookie ever. Take the balls of dough. These are about 1-inch balls of dough. I've got mine scooping with a teaspoon, measuring spoon. Really roll them well in this powdered sugar. Now, I promised you a special gluten-free Gigi tip. And here it is. If you take these cookies and roll them in the balls, put them in your confectioner's sugar here, and put them on the pan, and go answer the phone or do something else. When you come back and you bake your cookies, even if it's 10 minutes later, you are not going to have gorgeous Snowcap cookies like I know you want for your cookie tray. Why is that? If these cookies don't go right into the oven as soon as we get them coated and on the pan, what will happen is the moist batter will absorb our starch and our powdered sugar, and it just sort of melts right into the cookie dough, and they lose this really beautiful white coating. So we want to make sure they turn out perfect every time. So get these right into the oven as soon as you get them coated. All the cookies are rolled in the powdered sugar, and we've got to hurry over to the oven and get these inside. We're at 350. Let's set our timer for 8 minutes and we'll come back and see how they look. Do you want to see what they look like? It's been 8 minutes. They're not done, but you gotta see. Aren't they gorgeous? Now you know why they're called Snowcap cookies. Alright, I gotta close the oven. I'll be back in about 2 more minutes. Oh, look! Gorgeous, gorgeous cookies. Come over to the board. I want to let these cool. I've already got my serving platter ready to go. I'm excited about these. Jason, you see why I love these cookies? Come back in about 15 minutes and let's serve these up. Our cookies are ready to put on a serving tray. Have a look at these. They are gorgeous. They're cooled. They're beautiful. Gluten-free chocolate Snowcap cookies. This recipe is fantastic. I know you'll want to make these, and I also know you'll want to check out my 5 must-have gluten-free cookies of Christmas. You will be on your way to the most impressive, most delicious gluten-free holiday cookies you've ever made. Get yours now.